Hey, Shalom Akim, this is Yahbatazah coming back with another video. I want to give all praises and glory and honor to Yahweh Shemiah Washai. Double honors to the elders, great millstone. Much love and respect to you brothers out there doing the work in sincerity and truth, striving for the hopeful elect, enduring all afflictions and seeking out your own salvation with fear and trembling. Yahweh Shemiah Washai Wahabrakak Badash, Barakatam Akim. Alright, I just want to go into a lesson regarding not being fearful in serving Yahweh Shemiah Washai. And being out on the highways and the byways, confessing the name of Yahweh Shemiah Washai, basically just going into that, man, you know what I'm saying? And something that us brothers have to examine ourselves of that as well, because as I'm going to read here in 1 John 4:18, it says, "There is no fear in love, but perfect love casteth out fear, because fear hath torment. He that feareth is not made perfect in love." Now, what is the love of Yahweh Shemiah Washai? Is the law, statutes, and commandments, man. All right, that's how we serve Yahweh Shemiah Washai, is being obedient unto His word. Okay, doing the things that are beneficial and profitable unto us in this life and in the life to come, which is the kingdom of heaven. All right, so as it says, there is no fear in love, okay? Because love is almost like as if it's carefree. It has no worries. It has no anxieties, no impurities, okay? A balanced love, though, you know what I'm saying? Talking about, as the love here in the earth. Like, nobody knows what love is here on the earth. The relationships are all jacked up. They get jealousy confused with love, and obsession confused with love. So all those things, you can have a godly jealousy, but the love of Yahweh Shemiah Washai and serving Him is without fear, man. You don't care with what people think or say of you. When you're on the highways and the byways, somebody may recognize you from your job or school or your family members or your friends, and they'll start talking about you or come up to you asking you. It might turn into something that they may be scoffing or mocking you, but you got to cast all that fear away, man. It says there is no fear in love, but perfect love casteth out fear, because fear hath torment. See, some brothers, maybe going through all kinds of shit because there might be some type of fear in you that's regarding this ministry. You know what I'm saying? You have to have an attitude of I don't care, man. You know what I'm saying? That you don't care what anybody says, anything that anybody thinks. All right, you have to just be solid in Yahweh Shemiah Washai, man. It says, "He that feareth is not made perfect in love," and that's what Yahweh Shemiah Washai, he's looking for the perfecting of the saints. Okay, He's looking for that body that is jointly fitted perfectly, knitted unto each other. Okay, into that perfect man. All right. So from there, let me go to Joshua chapter 1 and verse 9. It says, "Have I not commanded thee, be strong and of a good courage? Be not afraid, neither be thou dismayed. For Yahweh thy power is with thee whithersoever thou goest." And you got to believe in that. You got to have faith. Faith is what's going to bring you to that perfect love in Yahweh Shemiah Washai, and cast away all fear, cast away doubt. You got to have faith in Yahweh Shemiah Washai. You have to believe in this word, man. As it's a commandment to be strong and of a good courage. Okay? Be not afraid, neither be thou dismayed, because being afraid, being dismayed brings torment. Okay? It brings doubt, like you don't know if you're really for this, or you may start thinking things like that. You start worrying about what people think of you. You gotta cast all that away, man. You can't let none of that weigh you down, because that's what's gonna get a lot of people jacked up in that day, is when the sins rise up, wickedness rises up, and it begins to cast doubt upon you, man. Doubt is the enemy of faith. Okay, because faith is what? Confidence, man. You have to have confidence in Yahweh Shema Shai. Okay, so it's a commandment for that, and to perfect that love, you have to cast away fear. Okay, you can't have fear in your heart. You got to let it go. All right. Let me go to this one scripture that came to my mind. Let me see what it has there. For some reason, it was brought upon me just a while ago. All right, just give me 1 second. It might be. This is 1 Corinthians 7:20. Let every man abide in the same calling wherein he was called. Art thou called being a servant? Care not for it. Art thou called being a servant? Right? Question. Care not for it. You know, if you're called being a servant to Yahweh Shema Shai, you have to care. You should care for that responsibility. Meaning that you're gonna, like it says in Timothy's, study to show thyself approved, a workman needeth not to be ashamed. Don't be ashamed of being a servant to Yahweh Shema Shai, man, because you're called being a servant, and care not for it. You know, you don't care. You should care for this, or don't you? But if thou mayest be made free, use it rather. Okay, because you have to bear witness to this truth, man. All right. It says, for he that is called in Yahweh Shai, being a servant, is the Lord's free man. Likewise also he that is called, being free, is Yahweh Shai's servant. You see? And that's a blessing, man, to be called into this heavenly calling, man, as Paul said. Alright. It says, you are bought with a price. Be not ye the servants of men. Brethren, let every man wherein he's called, therein abide in Yahweh. See, to abide in Yahweh Shai's love, man, which is his word, his son Yahweh Shai, the law, statutes, commandments, all right, the precepts, faith. You have to abide in that. Okay, like I said, going back to verse 20, art thou called being a servant? Care not for it. You know, so having fear in their walk, you will begin not to care for it, man. You can't have that. So you have to get rid of that. Okay, you have to take care of it. You know, nourish it, protect it. All right. Let me go from there to Proverbs 1:7. It says, the fear of the Lord is the beginning of knowledge, but fools despise wisdom and instruction. Right? So there's two types of fear. Now I'm gonna look up that word fear here in Proverbs 1:7. Yara'ah. It says the outline of biblical usage: fear, terror, fearing, fear, terror, awesome or terrifying thing, object causing fear, fear of God, respect, reverence, piety, revered. So the fear that was spoken of in 1 John chapter 4 is being fearful, of having a terror upon you. Okay, but the fear of the Lord, you have two types of fear: the fear of the Lord and the fear, you know, of men, you know, of the world, you know, of higher powers, of principalities, of demons. You know, you can't have that kind of fear. Fear of fear of men, especially. The Lord told us, fear not them that are able to destroy the body, but fear him who is able to destroy the body and soul. You know what I'm saying? So that, don't get the fears mixed up, because fearing Yahweh Shai is profitable. All right, it's what's going to get you salvation. It's what's going to save you. Okay, that's why I brought this out. It says, the fear of the Lord, Yahweh, is the beginning of knowledge, but fools despise wisdom and instruction. Just like they despise love. They despise the law, statutes, and commandments, right? So I just wanted to bring that out real quick. Let's go to Revelations 21 and start at verse 7. He that overcometh shall inherit all things, and I will be his power, and he shall be my son. But the fearful and the unbelieving and the abominable and murderers and whoremongers and sorcerers and idolaters and all liars shall have their part in the lake which burneth with fire and brimstone, which is the second death. All right, so that alone, just being scared, having a fear or having a shame of serving Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai, will get you killed, man. Will get you put in the lake of fire, because the Most High is looking for men that are of good courage, of confidence, that have faith, that believe. They're not like have the characteristics of a female. Now, a lot of men, you have the characteristics of females. It's not just, you can't just base it off one thing. Okay, like some guys were like, oh, he's a woman because he bitches and complains all the time. That's one of many. Okay, but there's other things that can indicate a man being as a woman. Okay, that's not girding up his loins like a man, showing himself a man. You know what I'm saying? So I want to go into that word fearful here in Revelations 21. All right. The outline of biblical usage, it says timid, fearful. On the Strong's definition, it says dread, timid, that is by implication, faithless, fearful. So to have fear, to be fearful, is to be faithless or timid. Now I'll look up that word timid. Let it load up. Right, so you know, like I said, fearful will have their part in the lake of fire, man. Because you're faithless. You can't be faithless in serving this Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai. Okay, so it finally came up. So it says timid, showing a lack of courage or confidence, easily frightened. Right, and it gives an example. I was too timid to ask for what I wanted. You see, and you got. I've noticed with a lot of so-called Mexicans, they're afraid to ask for things, especially when it comes to Esau. They're afraid to ask them. They're afraid to show themselves a man. You know, you don't have to go and ask, be rude or nothing like that. It's simple. It's just what it is to have a fear of Esau upon them, man. You know, it's that Stockholm syndrome. You know, and that's all those brothers out on the highways and the byways. That's all we really do. That's all we do is give them truth. You shall know the truth, and the truth shall set you free. It's gonna strengthen you. You know, it's gonna lift you up from a weak nature. Wisdom, knowledge, and understanding it shall be the strength of thy salvation. You know, but that's what I noticed. You know, all the years I've been out here is so-called men, the tribe of Issachar, they're afraid to ask for certain things, man. You know, so in a way, those men, they may work hard, they may do all this stuff, but really they're showing that characteristic of a woman that lacks faith. You know, feminine, because feminine, when you break down that word, means faith minus faith. They lack faith. Okay, yeah, you may not get it, but hey, you got to get used to being rejected or turned down, man. You know, it says I was too timid, and the timid adjective, I was too timid to ask for what I wanted. Apprehensive, fearful, easily frightened, afraid, faint-hearted, timorous, nervous, scared, frightened, cowardly. Okay, so those are all the different synonyms that go with the word timid. Okay, faint-hearted means to be weak-minded, man. You can't be weak when you come into this truth. All right. So that's what that word fearful means in Revelation 21:8. All right, and that will get you casted into the lake of fire, man. All right, so let's go over here to the book of Sirach, chapter 2 and verse 12. It says, woe be to fearful hearts and faint hands, and the sinner that goeth two ways. So there you go, being faint-hearted or being timid. Okay, you're scared to speak. You're scared to go onto the highways and the byways. You know, you're scared to tell Esau who he is, the so-called white man. You're afraid to use those certain, you know, words or, you know, that we use on the highways and the byways. You're scared to rebuke somebody. You read the epistles that Paul was writing to Timothy. Timothy was a young man, and he was telling him not to be ashamed of those things, man. You know, it says, woe unto him that is faint-hearted. There goes another word, being weak-minded. Right? It says, for he believeth not, therefore shall he not be defended. You know? So you have to have these characteristics. You have to put them on you, man. Courage. You have to put on courage. You have to put on faith. You have to put on vigilance. You know? You have to put on the whole armor of Yahweh Shem Yahushai, man, in order to withstand the wiles of the devil. All right? It tells you that in second Esdras chapter 16 and verse 1. Fear not the incredulity. Right? Fear not those that have a spirit of incredulity, meaning the unbelief. Don't be afraid of them. Don't be afraid of what they look like, what their faces, what they be saying, what their faces look like. You know? Just do the work, man. Alright? It says, woe unto you that have lost patience. And what will you do when Yahweh or Yahushai shall visit you? They that fear the Lord will not disobey his word, and they that love him will keep his ways. They that fear Yahushai will seek that which is well, pleasing unto him. And they that love him shall be filled with the law. They that fear Yahushai will prepare their hearts and humble their souls in his sight. See, saying, we will fall into the hands of Yahushai and not into the hands of men. For as his majesty is, so is his mercy. And that's plain, man. You know, so put away that fearful heart, man. Put away that weak nature, as it is explained in second Esdras chapter 13, man. I believe it's 13 or 14, putting away the weak nature and